Okay, so before I get into my arguments, we need to acknowledge the fact that the first speaker of the government team actually misses the point of this motion entirely, prioritizing on a singular situation and not expanding his arguments. Not only that, he didn't define what a curriculum is, what academic achievement means in this debate, and also what educational facilities actually are. So that is why or its represent, or the first speaker of the opposition side, which is me, is proud to oppose the motion that in areas of persistently low academic achievement, this house believes that countries should prioritize on reforming the curriculum over building up educational facilities. Okay, so firstly, before the opposition side gets into its main argument, we need to define what academic achievement means, what reforming the curriculum means, and also what building up educational facilities means. So firstly, academic achievements. Academic achievements in this motion doesn't just mean competitions such as NSDC and LDBE. It means all of the achievements a school can have, and it also reflects the quality of the school's education. Secondly, reforming the curriculum means changing the way teachers teach and what do they teach in every school in the nation. So it's the backbone of a nation's educational system. And thirdly, building up educational facilities means giving students a better studying environment by, for example, giving them more classrooms, buying more books and more updated books for them to read and to study on, and just giving them the facilities that are related to studying. So the most important point that we need to acknowledge is that curriculum doesn't mean teachers, coaches, and textbooks, like the first speaker of the government teams said, right? And I'm going to get to that within my arguments. So the limitation for this debate is Indonesian schools, right? Because the first speaker of the government team talks about their experiences in national competitions such as LDBE, NSDC, and etc. So the main points from the government side is that first, reforming the curriculum gives more motivation, which is just wrong. Why is it wrong? Well, firstly, by reforming the curriculum, you hurt both parties that are related in studying or in education, the teachers and the students. Firstly, the teachers and the students have both have difficulties in adjusting towards the curriculum, right? Because it's not because they have been using a previous curriculum in for the past like 4 or 5 or even 10 years. Not only that, by changing the curriculum so often and so easily, it makes the student less motivated. Because once they have a grasp onto this curriculum, they are going to think like, oh no, it's just gonna change anyway. Why do I even bother? And why does this curriculum even matter in the first place? Secondly, people in areas of persistently low academic achievements tend to be less motivated, which is true, but not for the reason that the government team has stated. It's not because they don't have the better curriculum. It's not because they don't have the worst curriculum out of all of the others, right? Since a curriculum applies to all of the schools in the nation, but it's instead related to their educational facilities. Since schools that have low academic achievements tend to have lower quality educational facilities. For example, majority of schools that are dominating in competitions such as NSDC, LDB, and etc. Are usually from Central Java, right? Which most of the schools in there have better educational facilities than say schools from Papua or Sulawesi, right? Which actually proves that building up educational facilities is better than changing the curriculum. And thirdly, the government side of the house left out the fact that the curriculum doesn't affect competitions in general, right? They use an example of like the curriculum relating to the debate, to having a coach, to having better teachers, but it's just not true. since the curriculum doesn't affect competition such as debate, right? Okay, so firstly, before we get into our main arguments, we need to first characterize Indonesian students, schools with low academic achievements, and Indonesian teachers. So Indonesian students tend to not be able to focus with bad facilities, right? Imagine if you are a student in a school that doesn't even have a fan, right? And your school is in a very hot area. You won't be able to study you won't be able to study properly. You won't have anything that goes through your head, and you will only think of the fact that it is so annoying to be in this school, to study in this school. Even though the main purpose of schools is to get better education, it just distracts you, right? Secondly, schools with low academic achievements tend to be from regions with low facilities, just like I mentioned in my examples earlier. And Indonesian teachers tend to have problems adjusting to the curriculum. Okay, so I have two arguments that I want to tell you all today. Firstly, why building up educational facilities are a better option in general, and secondly, why changing the curriculum brings no impact towards low academic achievement schools. Firstly, why building up educational facilities are a better option in general. One, better facilities invites better teachers and students to join the school, which of course improves the quality of its education. Better teachers means the students are getting what they need to learn, and better students means that every single one in the school is collaborating. They are going to learn as best as they can, and it actually invites natural competition, right? Which pushes them to perform better academically. Secondly, it gives actual motivation to the students and school staffs, of course, including the teachers. So, by bettering the facilities, such as giving them maybe air conditioners or giving them better books, better internet connections, so that they can use like all sorts of gadgets to learn, it's actually going to give them more motivation rather than just changing the curriculum, which doesn't impact anything. And thirdly, it makes sure that every party has everything they needed that is related towards educational activities. So my second and last argument is that why changing the curriculum brings no impact towards low academic achievement schools. Firstly, low facilities makes learning inconducive. By not having proper books, proper location, proper desk, proper chairs, it just distracts the students and teachers from studying, from focusing on what they truly need. And secondly, the curriculum applies to every school in the nation. The fact that the curriculum applies to every school in the nations means that every single school has the same curriculum. Changing the curriculum doesn't impact the performance since the top schools are usually the ones with better facilities. And also, when top schools of the nations disregard the curriculum and still perform better academically, you should start to see the main cause of the academic difference. That's all from me. Thank you.